I see StreamYard got real fancy. Okay. Got like and subscribe. Says got new backgrounds now. Okay. Got new backgrounds, got video backgrounds. Well, it look like the same video backgrounds. Ain't nothing too special about these backgrounds. Yeah. But like the same shit. Here go the green one. That shit ugly. All right, let's get to it. Beauty within 40. Honestly, it's beauty within 30 to 40, but it's beauty within 40, all for the sake of a good title. One thing that naturally happens in life, it naturally happens. Whatever it is that's on your mind constantly, whatever it is that you constantly put conscious attention to, it's going to be giving you the same attention right back. Okay. And so when you live life and you navigate through life and you're finding yourself to not live it in the way everyone else did. Everybody else was dating, you were painting, you were writing stories, you were trying to create your own magazine. You just didn't match in the world of that. You weren't pretty enough. You weren't beautiful enough. You just wasn't for that world. And then you had a parent that reflected that by being strict on you, not letting you go anywhere, do anything but what you love to do, which is write, draw, paint, create, play instruments. But understand that there's always something and someone that are doing exactly what they're supposed to do in your life, and that is to distract or try to distract. Come around you, get in your way purposefully. You got people who come around just to gather information or just to take from you, just to hurt you, just for the sake of slowing you down, just to prove something inside their internal fucked up self, whatever it may be. That's going to happen because that's how it's supposed to be in life. Because you attract these things as a way to push you more into what it is that you're accomplishing or you're achieving for yourself or that you're aiming for. You have to be careful with the distractions. It always comes. They always come. But you have to be wise enough to fight them. And living in true spirituality and living in true consciousness is recognizing, why did I experience this? Why did I experience this? Why did my life come to this? Right? Why did this come into my life at this time in my life when I felt this way? Why, when I made changes in my life, it still brought me back over here to this? Because when you live in true consciousness of self, because you can be conscious but not aware, and there's a whole topic with that, but to be truly in tune with yourself, you are able to recognize why. Why is this person in my face? Why am I experiencing what I'm experiencing in my life right now? Why am I going through this? Why is this person talking to me like this? Why is this person responding to me like this? Right? And then that's when you also begin to look at the energy around you as well. Who am I around that's attracting this to me? Who am I around that's attracting this type of energy? Example, yesterday I was out and about, come home in a car, And so the little kids in the neighborhood are acting like hooligans. And one of the little hooligans come to the car, look all in the car. And I looked at my friend and I said, I had said when I got out the car, I said, damn, people just be using their kids to spy on you. That's crazy. And she was just like, you just get back in the house. And I got in the house. And I was like, the only reason why that little hooligan came to that car and did all that because you like children. They know not to come around me. I don't have a welcoming aura for children in my life. I know my energy. I used to. They used to always be around. Not no more. They don't come around me. They don't come around me. And I said, that's your energy. Now, it's little tiny things like that. Then you also have to be mindful of other people's energy around you, other people's troubles and woes that surround you. You get what I'm saying? Somebody's having a problem. They want to move. They want to, they got financial problems or all these kind of things. You can be affected by that, whether you realize it or not, energetically. You have to pay attention to that. It sounds crazy, but there are people out here that are going through homelessness, evictions, and all this shit because they have energy around them that's so fucked up. They don't want them where they at. I have struggled with myself in therapy about cleaning and about keeping my home clean. What in the hell is this flickering on my screen? I have struggled tremendously. One of my therapists said it's like an obsession. And I was like, no, it's something more than that. And I started really stepping up and doing the things I wanted to do, like interior designing and sketching, interior designs and stuff like that. And so as I got into interior design, I naturally started to decorate more, especially in this place. And as I started decorating more and as I started building more things started coming to me. More abundance started coming to me. Next thing you know, my mother's sending me stuff to soak my feet, a whole spa facial cleansing set, wax machine set that I have here. Soon I'm going to have a steamer set here. I should have been had that, right? And all these different things start coming. They got me chairs from their bar. And there's a table I got to put up, right? That's been passed down for I can go on and on. And so I began to have more things, just more stuff. End up opening my suitcase and started taking out my art supplies. I'm still not finished taking out my art supplies from the suitcase because now I have to get a tote and stuff to start putting my art supplies in it. See? So all of this abundance started happening to me. And the back room was empty for a very long time. Like there was one of the rooms where it was like, what the fuck do I do with this room? And then finally my daughter's moving off to college. And guess what? She brought all her stuff here in suitcase and boxes. So I said, now I know what I can do with this room. Now I know how I can decorate this room. So I can put her posters. I think she probably took her posters already. So if she got her posters in there, I can hang her posters up. I can really decorate this room. You see? So the point is I had all this stuff. And still I can feel this energy of a certain family member that didn't like me. And I don't have no problem with any of my family members. I really don't. I love my siblings and I respect and love who they're with. I don't have no problems with them. But I could still sense. And then that was in the moment that I realized that it's really not about that. And I used to say that to myself. To be like, if I had a mini mansion, if I had a foreign car, this, that, and the third, I'll still be treated like this by this person and this, that, and the third, and these people and this, that, and the third. I used to say that all the time in my 30s. My 20s, I used to say it all the fucking time. I used to break on my 20s, but the 30s, I used to say it all the time. And then it came into this. it came into me realizing what self-sabotage truly is, what it is, and why, and what causes self-sabotage. Jealousy and envy causes self-sabotage. Emotional trauma and abuse causes self-sabotage. Somebody sitting next to you cannot be at the level that you are at. And so now you're changing how you dress and you're dumbing down the way that you look and dress, or dumbing down yourself because this person right next to you is not, it's the frequency thing. They're not at your level. Because what happens is it's a double entendre there. I know that's my favorite word, one of my favorite words, next to circumnavigate and plethora, right? The thing that comes with that is if you already live your life uniquely as yourself, whatever uniquely as yourself you define that to be, right? And while you're living your life uniquely as yourself, if you then feel like, well, I may have this, that, and the third, but I don't have the material things or whatever things to qualify myself to be at this standard. When you sit next to a person who may not be just as uniquely as they are, the way you are uniquely as you are, because they have a car, because they have a house, because they have these things materially that says that they're more stable than you, then you deem yourself unworthy to be the level for someone to get at, and you miss the spiritual aspect of who you are. Understand, as a spiritual person, you do the things that you do purposefully the way that you do it. Because the moment you say you want a house, you go get it, or you went and got it, right? The moment you say you want a car, you went and go get it and you got it, or you got it more than what you bought, you thought you were going to get when you went out there, right? The moment you said, I want to get a bank account, is the moment that things start flowing for you when you got that bank account, right? The moment you said, hey, I want to get this passport and I want to go to Japan, that's the moment it happened, right? So you make choices as a spiritual being to live the way you do, to negate material things and live in abundance in the way you want to live in abundance, whether that's having a nice apartment and hooking that bitch up, whether that's renting a room from somebody and hooking that bitch up, or whether that's having a house and turning into an Airbnb. Because you're a creative being, so you're going to constantly do things creatively because that's just who you are spiritually. And you have to accept the reality that people have to come to your level. This don't matter what the fuck they got. It don't matter what the fuck they got. People have to come to your level spiritually and mentally. And that one right there, I know is tough. That's the toughest thing to accept as someone who's a self-sabotager, because that's what it all comes down to. Why do you see such wonderful, talented, great people, just talented and great, and you're looking at who they're around and you're like, why the fuck are you here? Because that self-sabotage that you're looking at, their light shines above everybody. I remember someone told me when they saw pictures of me with the children and their family and stuff, and it was like, you don't even look like you belong with them. You look prettier, different, brighter. Like you don't look like you belong. And I'm like, you're right. I never even looked at these pictures, but you're right. And so it's these little teeny tiny things that build internal things. See, you have to go beyond that, because the material things that you want to obtain for yourself, you can't obtain it for yourself. But as a spiritual being, there's a different kind of wealth and abundance that we have that even if we do get that mini mansion, there's still a different kind of wealth and abundance that we have. That's a bigger studio to do art. That's a bigger studio to write music or do music. That's the bigger studio to dance in, right? That's a bigger studio to do my chemical lab stuff and discoveries. That's a bigger studio to build the library. There's something different and unique that we're going to do no matter where you go. The way you set up your porch, the way your living room is going to be set up, the way your kitchen is going to be set up. And so whatever it is and who you are, people are going outside of that frequency of who you are. They're going to have a problem with who you are. Especially for people who are wrongfully judgmental, and then they have to get their ass handed to them, or they have to get their face crashed to realize that you are truly an intelligent spiritual person. You have spiritual intelligence. That you're truly a person that, you live life on purpose and with meaning. And when you do that to people, that's the problem that they have, and that's the hate they project onto you that they have within themselves. And you got to understand that. I tell y'all all the time, don't feel no type of way because you're made a mockery of as a spiritual person. Whatever spiritual practice, which, whatever. I think everybody gets made mockery of, if you want to be honest. Everybody does. They just made mockery of Trump and said he was sleeping with Satan. That's fucking hilarious. I didn't get to catch that very unhinged South Park episode yet. But everybody does. But for spiritual people, let them laugh. You trust me, you're going to get frustrated when you have some Joe Schmo, okay, jumping into our practice and using it for dumb shit, because there's people already doing that. And we want them to flip the fucking oracle cards and run the fuck away because they can't deal with their own self-reflection and self-unfoldment. Let them go. Fuck them. We don't want them around. You got people that damn try to infiltrate witch spaces and stores and shit. Lame ass shit people try to do. You live your life in your whole truth. You live frequency who you are. Because that's how you get rid and wean off all the ones that don't need to come around you. And you be comfortable with that. Now, what's the beauty within 40? Right? Before you get to 40. I really stand strong in what I say and what I've seen. Every woman I've seen, every single woman that I have seen, who has lived their life a certain way in their 20s. They don't even talk about their 20s. How funny. And they lived in their 30s, and the choices they made in their 30s into what their 40s is, or what their 40 looks like. They navigated their life a certain way. And then they finally said, you know what? I'm going to take this next step and I'm going to do this. And everything in their life began to unfold with no distractions. They taken steps and they went and got life coaches. They went and got relationship coaches and dating coaches privately. And they do not tell the name of their dating coaches and life coaches. These people have taken steps to go to workshops, to collab with other people and connect with other people. I watch all of this, what they do and how they respond when they hit to 40. Because the key to it all is being around yourself and living the life for yourself. Okay? That's the key. There's no other way around how to do this. But you have to know yourself. What is that noise? I gotta move my toe that I have over there by my hanging by my what's the name? Okay. And you have to live this 100%. I want y'all to give me a quick, I'm going to take a quick little music break. Can I drag this? Yep, I sure can. But I already saw that. Who did that? All right. And let me let y'all know that I'm going to be right back. You heard? You heard. I'll be right back. We'll be right back. In a minute, I'll be back with the bottle of water. Back. My bottle of water. All right, man. Did I do it right on time or we about to loop it? Nah, we ain't looping shit. Let's go. I'm back. V314 Bad Bitch Craft Radio. Yeah, man. All right, continuing on. Experience yesterday. Cross paths. Saw somebody eating some delicious ass vegan food. Maybe I literally commented, I miss eating. I reposted it. It was like, I miss eating vegan food. Not gonna hold you. I miss it. I do. Vegan, that fucking real cooked good vegan food be delicious. Y'all don't understand. Man, I just remember one of the meats that I used to eat all the time. It start with an S. I couldn't remember the name of it. Now I remember. Let me tell you. Delicious. Love eating vegan food. You heard? Here's another thing. So I was like, I don't really think this is somebody that, I'm supposed to DM and talk to, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this is somebody that, and they were located in North Carolina too. And they were from a sort of school that they went to. And I'm like, damn, that's between the Brooklyn or the Bronx because of the name. I was like, I know that name. And so anyway, my vibe wasn't really feeling it like that. I was like, I recognize the energy. I know this energy. And I'm like, this person definitely can be a character. You know what I'm saying? One of my characters. But it ain't really somebody that I'm supposed to just connect with. You feel me? And what I looked into, well, why? Why did I cross paths with this person? Why this person even come across my path, right? Because if you click on somebody's page online, if you see somebody's face, that's people crossing paths with you. Even if you ignore them and you keep seeing them and seeing them, that's someone's crossing paths with you. But it doesn't have to physically be a crossing paths. It's still crossing paths, okay? And I began to realize, what was it I said? The vegan thing, the health thing, the spiritual thing. That's why this person crossed paths with me. That's why this person brought me back into, I guess you can say, my 20s and all that shit. That's why this person energy came to me. And they was on ChatGTP, and I saw what they was writing on ChatGTP, and I laughed about it. Oh, I laughed. And they were on ChatGTP asking about the calories and food with the meal that they made and shit. And I was like, okay. And so I knew then, it took me time, but I figured it out. I said, it's that part of that person that I remember, the spiritual aspect of myself, the very spiritual aspect of myself, the very parts of myself that manifest, the very parts of myself that ate very healthy, vegan food, whatever food it was. Food was the medicine. The very parts of me that ate healthy. That's why I said, damn, I miss eating vegan. I miss when I could eat vegan. Because it's not easy to eat vegan in the South like that. Even though summertime, I don't eat as much. I can eat very vegan now because I can't, for some reason, can't really eat too much. So all of these different type of things play a part in this. Another thing. You have to follow your intuition. Okay? Always follow intuition. I don't give a fuck if the slightest emotions and feelings come across you. You have to follow your intuition. And when you do that, that's going to navigate around. That's going to be the very thing that can be your protection in life. But also understand, when people are aware of very intuitive people, they try to manipulate more and they try to abuse more, because that's to distract your intuition. That's what it's for. Trust me when I tell you, I have people in my life right now that regret me not being in their life no more. And I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm being for real. There's people in my life right now that regret that I'm not in their life no more. And that's a few people. Okay? Because the problem that I had, I was always the person who stuck around when everybody else didn't want to fuck with them no more. When it was obvious nobody else wanted to fuck with them. I'm the person that stuck around. You see what I'm saying? And also another problem is I didn't know how to see the people around me. But I also do understand now in my life what somebody who was their late 30s, probably 40 at the time, I don't remember how old she was, probably her late 30s at the time, told me the reason you're having all of these problems in your life because of this one thing in your life. And that's why you keep having these problems. And I'm starting to see that that's the reality. That's what it is. And excuse me for the pause. The biggest reason I am getting on this microphone to speak to you out there is to tell you something that I want you to understand very deeply when I tell you this. Number one, whatever it is that you aim for, whatever it is that you strive for, right? You have to live your life in that every single day. Now, the question is, what about your 9 to 5 and your creative endeavors? It's not hard to balance that. Believe it or not, it's not hard. And I can give you the keys to do it. Number one is you understand that when you go do your 9 to 5, you do your best. And as a creative person, you know, as you get older, you're going to give your best at that job, right? And when you go into your creative endeavors, you hone in and make time for the creative endeavors as your second job. Okay. Now, whatever job you have as one of your jobs, however many jobs you got, okay, as one of your jobs, but you treat it as a job. I'm going to sit down at this time in this hour and do this work on this day, right? While you also have your regular 9 to 5 job. But in this hour, on this day, during this time, this is what I do. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., this 3 hour mark, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm writing. This is what I'm sketching. This is what I'm creating. This is what I'm focused on in my creative endeavor. And dependent, it don't just have to be the morning. It could be, hey, after I come home from work and I take my shower, I take 1 or 2 hours to write, to create, to draw, to whatever. Make sure all such and such is cleaned a certain way. All of these things will become a part of your routine once you begin to build the schedule. And once you begin to do that, you begin to build your life back. And as you begin to build your life schedule and routine, and you begin to build what's called the hypnotic rhythm and all these different things for yourself, it's not so hard. And then there's these other worldly things. I don't like to say worldly, but there's other things about yourself as a human being that you have. You may have your sexual needs, right? You may have your physical needs. Physical needs. First of all, let me tell you something. And I'm being very honest when I tell you this. You can replace sex with exercise. Okay? You can replace sex with exercise. You can replace sex with being and doing things more creative. Okay? That is the sacral chakra and root chakra energy space. So you can use that to do things more creative. You can also, I mean, it's your body. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you want to go to a adult sex party, I actually suggest that. Like, it's like at least y'all, at least when you go there, you know what y'all came for. Okay. If you want to go to any type of grown, and just put it like this for YouTube friendliness, if you just want to go to anywhere that's grown and sexy, go there. Okay. Just go there. And that's it. An exercise can be a multiplicity of things. Just go find an exercise to do. Okay. It could just be moving your legs and stretching, doing a split. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, let's keep going. It's inevitable. Is that the word? For you, okay? To live and be around people as yourself. My social media algorithm is tight. I have to say, I learned how to do that from a friend. It is tight. That means that this page is music focused. I took all my family off this page. I think like one of my siblings I kept on a page because they listen to that music. But it's music focused. Artists, musician, producers, all of that focused. Shows, performances, vocal skills focused. That entire page. I even gonna go back in that, went back in that page and erased a bunch of pictures of myself because that's a part of the archetype of the artist. Okay. Then the other page is screenwriting focused, writers focused. So no, I don't have a bunch of novel writers on my page. No novel writers, and I'm not any novel group. Actually, it took myself out of one. Screenwriting focus, screenwriting groups, screenwriting people, whether they got movies on Tubi, okay, doesn't matter. Whether they just got an opportunity at AME, BCC, whether they or BBC or how we fit, or they got an opportunity with Netflix, whatever this fuck they say. Those are the only people who are on that page. Those are the only people who are on that page. Okay? Because that's what that page is all about. And therefore, any engagement in conversations only deals with that topic. Okay? Because what happened is, as I navigate that page, more and more screenwriters, more and more collabs. I also post a lot about movies that I see. I post a lot of a lot of things that involve the topic of screenwriting. Found even like just for myself. Honestly, I do it for myself to go back and reference it. And all of these different things. And guess what? The more and more I get people that I'm connecting with that are on the frequency of that. And when I go outside, I don't care to communicate with other people who are outside of that. I have a brother that's a Capricorn. Mm-hmm. And he has said something. He was like, if you're not talking about gaming or manga or, or comic books, if you're not talking about the kind of music I like or whatever, my social battery goes down. And so maybe this is my Jupiter in Capricorn. He was like, my social battery goes down. I don't really care to talk about anything else. And I'm like, damn, I'm the same way. And so this is the same way I navigate when I go outside. Are you a screenwriter? You know what I'm saying? Even if you play instruments, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even that's tricky because I kind of just want to do music in my own kind of way with people. I kind of really don't necessarily want to meet people who do music unless they do music for movies, or it has to be something particular about what they do with the instrument. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not a writer yourself, or you don't direct, or you know what I'm saying, or you don't do some kind of anything that deals with film, or anything that deals with film for music, or any type of, you already have albums pretty much like that. Like you're already established, you already have albums. Then you're not somebody that I really want to communicate with. Then you're not somebody that I want to talk to. You feel me? And there's nothing wrong with being that way. I need you to understand there's nothing wrong with being that way. How are you going to manifest the things that you want to manifest and live the life that you want to live your life as if you don't keep it at a standard of what it takes for you to live your life as what you want to live it as? How are you going to do that? These are the things that you have to start considering. Do you get what I'm saying? When it comes to, this is what my life is, this is how I manifest, this is what I want to manifest, this is what I need to manifest, this is how I'm going to manifest. This backward couch on my couch, the cushion being backwards, is killing me right now. I need to flip the bitch. I'll fix it later. And then it turns into, what happened is, how do I say it? I sat back, I was telling T, I was like, yo, I really have been manifesting like a lot of people who are screenwriters and writers and people who work in the film and actors too. Like actually been having making, putting actors and stuff on my friends list and stuff. And I've never really done that before like that. And it started to hit me where as I started building everything up, I was like, wait a minute. Who knows what this can turn into for me? You see what I'm saying? And that's why you begin to still connect and walk the path of who you are, and be more focused on what it is that you want to accomplish and who you are. Because these are the things that become little small revelations for you in your life, that it becomes natural for you how you live. So as I was like following actors, and actors was following me, and then I had, you learn about a lot, you begin to navigate and learn more and more and more. Because no matter what I do in my life, I know you're probably going to be like, well, what about music? I still do music. I still write songs. I still know how to get on the program and do my own beats and stuff like that. I still know how to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm still a damn writer. Because I don't have to sing the music that I make. I can really literally write songs for other people. Join the Songwriters Guilds of America. Join the Writers Guilds of America. Screenwriters Guilds of America. Whatever I want to join. Join it all. Be a part of it. Get my shit certified and sell what I got and make my money like that. Because I write songs. You see what I'm saying? I'm still a writer. At the end of the day, I'm still the writer. Screenwriter. Songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Romance writer. The key is the foundation of what I am and the ways in which I can write. There's one guy who had a post yesterday, and he was like, he needed someone to help him with his screenplay. He was like, I need somebody in the faith-based and or who has knowledge of the faith and that can write and this and that. And I was like, well, I'm non-religious. If you have anything you want to talk about with other spiritual practices, even cults, I'm the one to reach out to. So I still put myself out there for the person to know that if anything they wanted to know, I'm the one to talk to. You see what I'm saying? Because I have that experience. I write about it in my own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Also understand that you are the money, right? So whatever it is that you're talented in, and you can be utilized in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your experience of knowing things can be the very thing that someone can pay you for, whether $25, $50 or whatever, just so you can sit down and interview and talk to them about what it is that you know and you have experience. For them to write a story, because writers, we're like that. We go that hard for research, and we love personal experiences. That's why most of us love documentaries, because that's the personal experience that you're hearing. And with all of this, understand that let's get into the distractions, right? Because I said, well, how do you know you're being distracted? First of all, online is the number one place of distraction, but outside is the biggest test of distraction. If it's just not lining up with you, when you're at work with characters, I get it. We're playing a character when we're at work, and we have to be that character to go and make our money, and we don't need to be nothing more but who we are. But some people, we can't hide who we are, but we have to be a character at work, right? And so this character we play at work is a character we are at work. It's our choice if we choose to hang out with coworkers. If our choice if we choose to talk to them outside of work. It's our choice if we choose to get personal with coworkers. And some people, you might always see your coworkers. I don't really see my coworkers. Okay. It's our choice how far we decide to go with anybody in our life. That's just real simple. I think that's the most simplest shit. It's your choice if you stop and talk to that coworker when you're outside or whatever. And you know, you build certain boundaries with people. I don't think I have to go into that with you. But let's say you go out in this world of dating. I'm going to be here to tell you that I can be with who I'm with because I understand the connection. I understand the mirror, and I understand we understand each other. And the more years that we have and time we have together, the more we are growing to understand each other even more. And we're growing more in such a beautiful friendship, so much that I'm like, I can call this person my best friend in my life right now. Do you get what I'm saying? This person is my best friend right now, right? And this best friend that I have understands me and understands my lifestyle and understands and doesn't understand everything about me, but most things this person does understand, and they're gonna come into more of an understanding of me. And I feel like they understand more than what I think they do. You know, they're very smart, right? And this is my relationship. And I'm not a monogamous person. So, you know, for all you monogamous people who are out there dating, then you're going to have to go talk to other monogamous people who are out here dating. I'm not saying as a polyamorous person that I cannot talk about monogamy, but I have a different perception of monogamy the older I get. The older I get, I have a different perception of relationships in general. I have a different perception of love in soulmates and twin flames as I grow. So I'm not really the one to talk to about that. Well, if you believe in all that and you believe in monogamy and you believe with being with somebody for the rest of your life and all that, I ain't the person to talk to about that. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Now, what do you do in the world of this? I don't really believe in compromising. I just don't. I just don't believe in compromising who you are for anybody. You should be who you are 100%. And that person should be who they are 100%. You know? And be honest about who they are, spiritual foundation and everything 100%. If you're finding yourself having to hide your altar, hide your books, that ain't the person you need to fucking be talking to. Okay? And if you were around this person for obligation, then you gotta get some shit in your life together a little bit more. Do you feel what I'm saying? You know? Also, I feel a part of a lot of these things um with people is I'm going to tell you at this precious, beautiful age of 40, nobody is worth it. And I'm purposely laughing behind that. Nobody's worth it. Nobody's worth your goals and your ambitions and what you want to do for your life. Nobody's fucking worth it. No love is worth it. Nobody's love is worth it. Do you hear me? Write that bitch down. Nobody's love is worth whatever it is that you are accomplishing in your motherfucking life. Nobody's worth you putting anything down that you love to do for your life. And see, here's the thing about having children. And if you're smart, you'll have the children that you can afford, or you'll be smart about your reproductive system of children. Your children don't stop your life. They can slow it down, yes, but they don't stop your life. And depending how you raise your children, you can raise your children on the path that you're on right along with you. You can bring them right on board. Like, look, little kid who just got here, that came through me, that I incubated through my motherfucking system. This is how it's going to be. This is the program. So they can slow down, but they don't stop it. But again, depends on how you control that reproductive system. Okay, those of you with 4 kids and more, 3 kids and more, I can't help you. Sorry, go talk to somebody who's successful with all them kids, if that exists. I'm not here. I am here to say, by being a selfish, accomplished, successful mother, you breed children the same way. You breed children who have the same goals, ambitions, and drive, just like you. I stand on that. But I will tell you, relationships with your children and all that shit, I believe that brings about an energetic distraction of what image you're putting out there for your child. The only person I care about to hear has to say about my life and my choices is what my therapist has to say. And all of the therapists I've had have all said, what you're doing is a great thing for your daughter. You're showing her independence, confidence, self love. What you're doing is a great thing. What you're showing her is a great thing. And that's all that matters. Nobody else matters. Don't matter. And here's the thing too. You have to realize that to be on the path of success, to sit here and be like, I see my creative endeavor as my other job. To sit here and be like, I'm writing a screenplay, I'm writing a book, I'm writing songs. To do these things in your lonesome, to do these things on your own, at the age that you're doing it, and still creating and still doing it while also connecting with other creators and putting yourself out there to work with somebody on Tubi, to work with somebody on any independent platform there is for a movie, to work with someone who is looking for people, to put the momentum in your life to do that. I need you to understand that's brave, that you are brave, and that is self-love. That is self-love and self-confidence that you are having in order to make the moves to do these things. When you are sitting here and you are, how do I say it? You're like going to groups, screenwriter groups, and you're actually amongst people, believe it or not, when you're in these groups, in these spaces, you are amongst people who do work in the industry, whether you realize it or not. And I'm saying for whatever creative endeavor that you have, I'm just using this example, to go into that space and put yourself out there, collab with people, to put yourself out there, to collab with other people who are doing the work. You are building a vibratory alignment every single time you do that for yourself. Whether you make it in the industry or not, to write something and put money into having someone in the industry and say, hey, I need you to critique this for me, and trust them and do that. And they give you full feedback on your work and you go rewrite and go back again, or maybe not, but just do that rewrite. That's brave. And still work a 9 to 5, that's brave. And you need to understand there's a lot of people that won't do it. There's a lot of people that'll be like, well, I'm too old and this ain't going to work out. And I tried it and it's just not going to work out and it's not for me. It's not, I can't, it's just, and they'll walk away from it. That's the energy of this place that I'm in. Way different than when I go to Raleigh, way different than when I go to Greensboro, Durham, or any of the places, even Fayetteville, way different. But this town right here, this energy of this place, they give up. They give up. That's their level of intelligence here. They don't say, let me still keep going. Look at what has been, because they don't build nothing. They don't build nothing. And that is the issue with living. This is why I say you have to pay attention to the energy around you. You have to be in tune like that. Because I was there. But then I got my ass. But once I removed all that energy away from me, I picked everything the fuck back up. Like it never happened. Because sometimes that's what time. Sometimes it takes time. I'm going to tell you. Sometimes it takes time because sometimes there's a space where you need to heal and you need to get into yourself for just a little bit. You need to do the therapy, the antidepressants and all of that just for a little while. And before you get back into you. But see, when I was ready, I got off the antidepressants. And I said, fuck this, I'm taking my life back. I fought harder for myself. I took my life back. And then I talked to another friend who was expressing to me that actually the antidepressants I was on can make you more depressed. I was like, it just makes you sleep. And I hated that shit. I'm not trying to sleep my life away because I'm dealing with depression or whatever mental illness that I'm told that I'm being diagnosed with. But I took that energy and I took everything going on with me and I went back into my creative space again, went back into the things I love again. Because then that's when I also started to wake up to America being an anti-intelligent space. And I started realizing that the true mental ill people in this world are the ones who are not the thinkers, the ones who do not read the books. It was a comedian who made a joke, right? And she was talking about the Democrats versus the Republicans and how direct the Republicans are, right? And how the Democrats are just too smart, and how it's a bunch of reading and a bunch of words and a bunch of words on paper, and how it's just a bunch of reading, right? And she's like, who wants to do all this goddamn reading? And it was the comedy, but it was a dark comedy. And I'm like, that's America. That's America. That's the anti-intelligence of this country. And therefore you're being manipulated to believe, well, you're mentally ill because you paint, because you write a lot, because you think a lot, and you talk about the things that you think about, and you observe life, and you realize that you feelings is a choice, love is a choice, saying someone's your twin flame and soulmate is a choice. And you say things like, man, I got to get out of this world to experience life, to say what life is, because I don't really know what this world is or life is until I go experience it. All of these different things that you say that is a part of being intelligent, America makes it seem like you're stupid. That's mental illness right there. The manipulation of it all is the true mental illness of it all. And this is what I'm saying, where this is how I grew stronger within myself. This is how I begin to realize, and I realized, okay, why here? Why North Carolina? Why this experience? Why da da da? And I begin to see what it taught me and showed me. I spent all my life around intelligent people. Okay? I spent around all my life around intelligent people. I spent all my life, okay, around people who read books, and I walked outside and they read books, and people who had degrees, people who were still going to school to take up a course in something. I spent all my life like this. To come to a place where people don't even have a brain for themselves and they think that they know it all. To just be around that level of stupid people, but for real, like, and to just not even care to talk to anybody, because that's how I want it, you know? And it all has humbled me within, because after just everything I've been doing, it made me realize that you are brave. My mother is brave at her in her mid-30s and stuff to now, and into her 40s into 50s, to sit here and work so hard the way that she did and have her business since the 90s. To sit here, become an esthetician and start doing hair and say, man, I wish I did it sooner. But she didn't have that kind of resource. She also realized, well, I didn't have the resources I have now to go to school, like to just go take a course and learn how to do hair and stuff. I didn't have all this stuff when I was young, at that age, but take advantage of it. Just like I take advantage of, wait a minute, it wasn't so easy before. Like before, you had to really know how to navigate and get in there to get into with other screenwriters and stuff like that. But like now you got a whole website that people are watching, and YouTube where people are watching and supporting people's projects and writings. You have people who are able to distribute their product to the world that may not even be of the highest the standards of what screenwriters say screenwriting craft is, but they're doing their best, but they can get paid for that. This is the times that we're in. It was not able to do that before. We're in a time when you can just, there's so many different apps to do music and get your music done real quick by someone professionally who's a producer to put your stuff out there, have an album, whatever, and just have yourself out there. And that stuff was not to that capacity that easy, but that shows you the mindset of the generation from the millennials to the Gen Zs and how it kept going. And so all of these things are tools and gems that we must take advantage of. You wouldn't even have people in the industry that was that accessible to sit down with you and teach you something unless you went to a Red Bull music school, unless you went to the new school, unless you went to some kind of college or something that entailed going to school for that, for to have accessibility to them kind of people. But now they're getting on camera and they're like, I can teach you something for myself and make their own money teaching you, instead of being in other people's establishments, getting us whatever to speak to other students. And still be in the establishments, but also have other people outside of that to have access to them. Because that was not possible. It really wasn't. And these are the times that we are in. And so for you to take it, you're brave. For someone to go to IMDb and say, hey, I made this film and I'm credited right in this and that and a part of this, and I wrote this song and I got credit for that, and I did this beat and I got credit for that, and I did this and I painted this and my artwork was in that film in the background. The fact that you can get credit for these and little teeny tiny things, go on IMDb and do it. We are in a very, very beautiful time to live. This is a beautiful time living. No complaints. Beautiful fucking time to be in. Beautiful. And so to do that, you are brave. So anybody who looking at life and they like, I'm too old to do it, I can't do it, they giving up, let them. But you not. That's why you over here with me, because you not, and you haven't. Even in times when you may felt like you was giving up, you still didn't give up. You still kept going, and you're still going. And so therefore keep going. But I'm telling you, the way to navigate this is you have to be in alignment with the very thing that you are. I was sitting here and I was just connecting. And the more that I start putting myself out there, the more I start putting things out there and I start testing it, because I start realizing when I put this kind of post up, how people responding. Well, let me see how this person put this kind of post up. Let me see how this person's responding. Well, how's this person responding? So then I start getting more direct about what I'm requesting for people and what I want from them in these different groups, in these different spaces, because you can do things virtually. I can reach out to somebody in LA who's come from the LA Film School to help me with my script and credit them or whatever. But at the same time, like, you see what I'm saying? That person can be all the way across the LA, but we can still schedule a day and time to see each other and work this out. You see the beauty in that? But you're brave to just be like, okay, this is the work that I've created for myself. Write down everything and who and whatever, and so you can start getting the work done. You're brave. I'm brave to sit here and be like, I have songs I've written. Oh, I can take these songs and put them in my script, or finish my songs and see if other people want these songs in their script, or write songs for people for their script. Do you see? You are the money. That's how it all works. You're brave to do that. It may not be Shonda Rhimes or Shonda Lynn. It may not be Issa Rae, Ava DuVernay. How we put DuVernay? I cannot pronounce that woman's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. It may not be Lena Waithe, but these people do have mentorship programs that I can join. okay, or that you can join, or we all can join, right? It may not necessarily be them, but you're starting to get your feet wet somewhere. Because you know what happens? When you do approach people and you do start asking people or putting yourself out there to be a part of people's script, and they have to see your writing because you have to write, you're a writer, right? When they do see these things, what's going to happen is, oh, this person has been putting in some kind of work. This person has a resume. Me being good with symbolisms and movies and storytelling, that's a good thing. Why is that a good thing? Because I can be of help with what little increment parts that they may want to do on their set or their scenes or how they want to set them up. So you have to know, what are you truly talented in? What have you been building for all this time? That where you're at right now, that you can be useful in somebody else's work. I'm learning how to have mini collabs. I'm learning how not to just, I'm still working on my own, but I'm learning how to collab. I'm learning who to collab with. I'm learning who's real and what's real. People trust me with their scripts. Somebody showed me a video of one of their horror films that's unpublished, and it was really good. And even T was like, man, that person must really trust you to show you their product like that. I was like, yeah. And someone just sent me a script now that they want me to read and give feedback. Everyone else was just not even interested in their script. They was just like, I don't know what's going on. They was already critiquing them. They didn't have no interest in it. But I did. I was like, let me check this out, because I like stories like this. Let me see where this is going. Let me read it. Because that's how passionate I am about the work. That's how obsessive I am about the work. And that's the thing. There's an obsession that you have about the things that you love working on. What they call passion, what is there's an obsession that is there. Even Lena said it. She said, I just think, I see people, they're just obsessed with the work. And that's how these people are able to navigate and work the way that they do. There's a woman I found yesterday. I will not say any name, but I found her, discovered her yesterday, because I sat back and I watched. I didn't search nothing. I watched one of her short films that she got rewarded for. And I began to remember how much I love short films. I used to always watch short films. My favorite. I even wrote one. I wrote a simple, like a very short film one time. Back when I was 33, 34. Don't know, because I pulled out all my writings, and it's so funny because the more I had pulled out, and that's another thing, the more I took my writing and I pulled it out the closet and put it inside the dresser that I have to go through, the more open I've been finding myself, finding other people again. All of these things, they all play a part. That's energy. I opened the energy out. I took it out the closet and put it in my space again. I'm ready for it. And then I found this woman, and she decided at 40 she was going to start producing films. And she spent most of her life writing, screenwriting. And she's been in all the shows that I watch. Anybody who's been here, them all. Orange is the New Black, Grey's Anatomy, right? The Queen and Slim. All of them, okay? All of them. Working with all of the people. Okay? And this is, now she's built something, and she's writing things. And at 40, and she's built a brand for women over. How I found that. I just literally just found that after I took my writings out of my closet. After I took all my writing, not all of it, but most of it from that closet, I took it out and put it over here in my office space. All of this stuff started to open and manifest in my life and all of these people. So I have people that I can work with. I have scripts that I can read. I have scripts from other people that I have in my class. I know that's up there too. I have all of these different things that I have done and people that I can collab with because I'm ready now in my life to do it. I know how to collab. I know what I'm looking for now. I know what I want, and I know how to say yes and no. So maybe this is my year, yes, coming up. Maybe 41 is my year of yes, as Shonda's book would say. I'm starting to understand what it is to have a year of yes. Shonda Rhimes wrote Grey's Anatomy at 35 years old. So by the time she was 40, she was 5 years, 5 seasons into Grey's Anatomy. Do the math. Grey's Anatomy is that season 20 motherfucking 2. Do the math. Shonda, I believe, was born 69. Yes, year the rooster. No, Shonda's a dog. She's not 60. Oh, yeah, because she's a Capricorn, so she's a dog. However it goes with her, she's not a rooster. Talking about the Chinese zodiac sign for those who might want to understand why I'm talking like that. And so it has to start from somewhere. So at 40, this is the age. 41 in another 2 months. It's technically another month. This is the age where now I'm like, hey, damn, I've been talking for an hour. Hey, you, what's up? This is what I do. This is what I write. This is what I have. But you also have to be prepared. What's that shit? I got it hanging on my wall somewhere. It says preparation, something for opportunity. So therefore I have to take everything and write and outline and beat sheets and sketch, hit the library, print it out. Shit, go buy me a fucking printer. Print everything out. And then after doing that and printing everything out, then just start, you know what I'm saying, working everything from there, typing everything out, having everything prepped. So when anybody wants to see what I write, I have samples of what I write and what I've written. And be wise about who I submit my shit to and how I submit it. These are all the little teeny tiny steps that you can take to manifest what it is that you're going and aiming for. You can't do it you can't I didn't want to go down this road of conversations, but I'll give you an example of what once happened to me. This guy wrote a script in New York City, right there in Brooklyn. I said, listen, tell, the person I knew at the time, the woman knew him. That was her friend that was her best friend, basically. They knew each other forever. She knew his wife. They all knew each other. And so what happened is I was like, I want to write with you. I had been wanting to do it because there was another one that was in Brooklyn that I had thought was really good, but I was like, he needs somebody to write the women. He's not writing these women right. I need to help him write the women. And then I remember New York Girls was out at the time. Like they was out. They was just starting like season 1 and stuff like that. And then it was this one. I forgot the name of this one. And then there was this particular person who I said the person that I was friends with this guy. Long story short, she did some fuck shit. They had a fallout. He did text me and about her behavior, and I was like, damn it, I still want to write this script with this dude. But I felt like I couldn't because I was stuck between. And then I remember another friend of mine was like, well, that don't have nothing to do with you. You could still do it. And I was just like, nah. But why did that energetically happen to me? I wasn't fully ready, like I believed I was, to do anything like that. So even if I would have, I'm trying to tell you, because it's not about ifs and shoulda, woulda. I'm telling you, you have to be able to be honest with yourself to this capacity. Even if I would have written on any of these scripts or the scripts with Homeboy, you know what I'm saying? It just, something would have went wrong, whether it was her or whether something else would have went wrong. You know? It was one guy who was in one of the films that I was interested in. He was an actor in it. And I guess the film didn't keep going, and I would see him all the time, and he was looking for a job. And I would see this dude all the time. And it was like the universe will do these type of things to you to give you a glimpse of something, whatever it is that you're seeking or that you're asking for. I had one time a music artist I'm cool with. And I was like, I found out later in the interview, because I didn't tell him, I'm writing a sci-fi. He already written a sci-fi. And I should have told him that I was writing one. Do you see how everything goes in a certain way? And so now you ask, well, if you had these alignments, why did you not act on it? I'm going to tell you what happens with that. This goes back to self-sabotage. This also goes back to the energy that's around you that's reflective of your self-sabotage. When you're living your life in a certain rhythm, a certain hypnotic rhythm or beat, and someone standing next to you is not in the same rhythm of who you are or how you're living, that person is a reflection of what internally is who you truly are. You have to understand that. And so when you go into certain spaces and you're trying to align even by yourself, energetically, those people who are a part of your life that you call friends and hang out with and share food with, that energy still sits on you. And that person that you're aligning with is not going to fully align with you because there's something going to be off about you. Sounds crazy, but it's the fucking truth. I'm telling you, it is the truth. You can't even be fucking people who do not align with who you are or what it is that you do in your life. That's all a part of the self-sabotage. So then you ask, well, how do you do all this self-sabotage? And then the day you decide to change your life is now all this stuff is manifesting at your feet. You just answered your own question. That's how it goes. The moment you say no more, the moment you no longer self-sabotage, do the therapy, do the inner work, do the shadow work, as they say, the moment you do that is the moment that things begin to unfold and begin to fall at your feet. It was already there. It was already who you were and already who you are. It's just that you had all this funk and all this static getting in the way of manifesting that frequency for you. I see people I had a fallout with at the Met Gala. I still emailed them about the condolence of them losing their mother because I met them. I've been around both their parents. I've been in their house. I send my condolences. I just found out the news. My condolences. I know they got the message. Even if they don't fuck with me, at least I still said that. And I think about how I had a fallout with them and what was going on in my life at the time and who was in my life at the time. Because what you have to come to see, and this is going to be one of the harshest things, it may even make you break down and cry when you realize that there are people around you who do not want to see you successful, who do not want to see you rise above, and who do not want you to be more than where you are. You have to realize that. And when you come to that ultimate realization, that's the moment that you take the steps and move. That's the moments where you begin to get back into your hypnotic rhythm, remembering who you are, and get back into that space. And then that's when everything will start flowing. So much in a way that you'll be like, damn, I knew it was going to flow, but damn, I didn't expect it to flow like this. And that's the beauty of it. I needed some water. My throat was harsh. Then it falls into something else. How do you know yourself? How do you truly know yourself? And how are you living on purpose? What purpose does this person have in your life? What purpose does this have in your life? What purpose does that office desk have in your life? What purpose does the way your kitchen is set up in your life? Let me tell you something. When you learn screenwriting, songwriting, interior designing, and construction, or anything of any sort, painting, everything comes with purpose. Interior design says this: what purpose does each room in your house mean? What is the purpose of your kitchen? What is the purpose of your bathroom? What is the purpose of this room and this room? What is the purpose of your porch, the walkway to your home? What story are you telling people before they even get into your home? What story are you telling them? Purpose. And so these things come with meaning. Life, your life has to come with meaning. What true purpose does this person in my life have? So what that I felt all these energies and feelings when I felt them, and then when I got to talk to them, I realized they're not anything that I want that have anything in common with me. So what about the feelings? We feel everything. We feel every day, B. We feel every day, B. But what purpose? When you got to know them, when you talk to them, when you got physically inside their space to talk to them, what purpose do they serve? And then this is how life begins to navigate the way it does. And then you have to be strong. You have to be brave enough to be like, when someone is even approaching you, because it's all about you, they're stepping into your space. You're not stepping in theirs. When they step into your space and they talk to you, it's all about you. Like, what do you do? What are you about? What do you know? It's in that a third. Oh, that's what you do. Let me see. We live 2022. It's 2025, baby. It's not hard for anybody to sit down and show you what the fuck they do. It's not hard for somebody to send you social media. It's not hard for somebody to pull up their email real quick and just, here's my script. Here's my IMDb. It's not hard. Nobody can just be talking circles in your head and just walk off like that. You can get the information right then and there. You can do the interview right then and there. 2025, baby. Ain't no excuses. People tell you who they are the moment they open their mouth. The moment they talk to you and tell you who they are. Remember this dude, I never talked to him at the grocery store. And then one day he starts to talk, and then the first thing he talked about is the image of the woman and how you can see her butt and shit. Like, nigga, are you 12? What the fuck? Are you 12 years old, nigga? Like, what is this? This is what you talking about? No wonder I never talked to you and I didn't give a fuck that you always had an attitude. I think you should just go back to having an attitude with me. Right. Dumb shit. But understand that you just have to remain in alignment. And when you remain in alignment, everything else is going to flow back to you. Okay? I sat back and I realized that ex that I once had a while back, why did I attract her in my life? Why did somebody like that come around me? Why was I around somebody who's Pisces, of course, super talented, you know, and I mean, super talented, needed to leave that small fucking town. And everybody always kept asking her, was she from Florida? And she was not from Florida. And she once was in Florida and she got into some bullshit in Florida, ended up coming back to her town and all this shit. And all of these different type of fucking things to only realize that she still end up being with the same raggedy ass bitch despite being someone like me. Why did that happen? It happened because it was a mere reflection of myself. It was a mere reflection of my own self sabotage that I have done at her age. It was a reflection of being in a relationship with somebody who did not match me, and I tried to make it be what it wasn't. It was a reflection of trying to get love and be respected by family members who I have no control over the fact of what they feel about me or whatever. It was a mere reflection of not being in the space that is aligned with who you are and not knowing how to. It was an absolute reflection of all of these things. And so that is why that person's energy came into my life. And it took me time. It took a year or two for me to really come to that, to come to terms with that. And when you decide, it says, what's that quote in that commercial says, life opens up when you do. That is a very true statement. And that's exactly what I'm telling y'all. Life will open up when you do. So I had these experiences of these people, and I had another one where it was like, I think it was like, you just need to let this person go because this person is so reflective of of everything that you are not anymore. Even when they was like, well, you used to do that, and I got offended. They're like, you used to do that, and I simply like, and you think about it, and it's like, and I used to like people like you, and I used to be friends with people like you. You have to start paying attention to it. Sometimes the things that can be hurtful or offensive, that's the universe waking you up into something. Like, pay attention. And so I had to have this ugly awakening with these things. Again, it took time, a year or two or whatever later, to see that it took time later that you have people who will purposely sit around in your life okay, sit around in your life just to be a mere distraction. Okay. Now I know that can sound so fucked up, but life is fucked up. Whether you want to believe it or not, life fucked up. But they'll sit around in your life with the intentions to make sure that their presence will be in the way of you seeing what you're worth. You're seeing that there's better people that you can be around that equals to your worth, and that you will ever get to the level that you need to get. They will sit around in your life and they will do that. And they will subconsciously and purposefully know that that's what they're doing. Don't ever get the impression that some people they're doing things and not knowing what they're doing. They very much know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And because of that, that's what makes it far more wicked, right? But it ain't them, it's you. It's you. It's your own self sabotaging. It's all back to your self worth. It's all about when you know what you're worth, nobody like that can be in your space. They can't, they won't make it in your space. You won't pick up their phone calls, you won't answer their texts, they will not be in your space. There are some people I see that they deal with people with a long-handed spoon. And I learned in life, sometimes it's best to leave them alone altogether. Altogether. Okay? And you know why you need to leave them alone altogether? Because what reason? Because because they put a fear in you. That's what it is. That person has put a fear in people where they're like, this motherfucker is so twisted that they might try to do something to harm me, so let me keep an eye on them. And I can, that is definitely me that can understand that. But I promise you, the best thing to do is leave it alone and ignore. And just walk away and begin to live your life in the frequency that you need to live your life. That was the harsh reality that 40 taught me. That last experience I had, that very last experience I had, and I'm going to call it the very last experience that I had with dealing with fuck people, with people who are just not worthy of my goddamn time or my space, was when I began to realize I still had the residue of my past experience. But then I also had to realize what I was truly worth. And these kind of people are not the kind of people that I want to be around. And I should have never been around. Once again, I was in the space that I was above. I literally was above that space. It had nothing to do with me being whatever race in the room. I was above the space. Every fucking woman used to be 300-400 goddamn pounds. Every single one in that room. What in the fuck is going on here? I ain't never been that low. I used to be 130 pounds, 125, 140, at 45 at most. And you telling me, bitch, y'all been 300-400 pounds, 500 pounds. Some of you still about 200-300 pounds. Are you fucking kidding me? And so it's these type of experiences and things that you have to sit back with yourself and understand what is being reflected towards back to me. And why am I experiencing, I'm in this space and it's two grown ass women talking about another grown ass woman that they can't communicate with, and they're sitting here trying to talk to you and try to say, one of them trying to say something slick to you and shit like this, and you just, why am I going through this? Oh, because I don't belong here. Let me go. Let me just leave. Let me just go. Let me just hang this shit all the way up. Let me just say goodbye to this type of energy in my life altogether. Okay? Let me just come to the ultimate realization that my life is worthy of more than this. And then as I navigate and start living life according to the way I want to live my life, in the alignment of how I want to live my life, now I have built a standard of who I work with who I choose to collab with, who I choose to put my name next to, right? Who I choose to share space with moving forward. And so now all of these things now will start going back to you, will start falling at your feet. And you're just like, well, damn, is this what it took for all of these things to start falling down at my feet? Because believe you me, I would sit down and I was like, damn, this person won an award for this in 2020. This show came out and I remember what the fuck 2019 and I remember all the stuff that was happening in my life at the time. I remember all the stuff that was happening in my life at the time. All of this shit. And I'm just like, oh shit. Because I was definitely 2015, 2016, 2017. I definitely was writing and doing shit, but what happened? And so that is what I began to realize about energetically, environmentally, and all of these different things that played a factor. And while my life kept going through these twists and turns instead of in the way that it's going now, it still was going this way, but it was still not going in the way it's going now. Because sometimes, I'm not trying to encourage anything, sometimes you might have to be alone in order to manifest what it is that you want. You might not have to be in no relationship in order to manifest what you want. You might have to grab your kids and pull them along exactly the way you want to manifest things. That's what it's all a part of. Because no matter what goes on around you, it's a reflection of you. No matter what, it's a reflection of yourself. Somebody you know, if you see what goes on around them, it's a reflection of themselves. It was a woman I saw in the street asking for money. I gave her $1. All right. I usually don't give nobody nothing, but I gave her $1 because I was being nosy. That dollar was paying her for the information. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, what's going on? What happened? Why something she had said, and then she was like, yeah, I got in a fight. I said, you need to stop doing all that. I said, you need to stop doing all that fighting. Stop fighting so much. And she was a short, dark skinned woman. And it was funny. She was a short, dark skinned. So you need to stop doing all that fighting too much. And so got back in the car, and T was like, how you gonna give her $1? You don't get that God dollar. That guy full of shit. He always saying he need gas money. He ain't got no goddamn car. What gas money do he need? I don't see no car. Because some people will just, if you need gas for your car, some people actually out here will actually just go ahead and put gas in your car for you and pay for it if you really need gas in your car, right? Gotta be careful what the fuck you lie about, bro. This is what I'm saying. And so then it turns into y'all. I just want to make a point to all of you this, because I can go down to the story lane, right? You just understand that from 30 to 40 is such a pivotal year. 20s is the year you do everything. It's fun. You do everything in the 20s. It's just stuff you're supposed to do. But 30 to 40 is such a pivotal year in your life. I don't know if anybody expresses how important it is and why why people are life after 50, life after 50, life after 60. All of these things are pivotal, and it comes into the life choices and the vibrational alignments that you make. If you sit here and your life is dedicated, I did this in my 20s, okay? Luckily, I came out of it. sad, depressed, hoping for some shit that ain't gonna happen with another human fucking being, you are wasting your fucking life away. Do you hear me? Do not waste. I learned that in my 30s. You do not waste your life away with somebody else. I fucking promise you. Nobody is worth you wasting your life away. Okay? Nobody's worth you. Are they cheating on me? Do they love me? Nobody's worth that. Nobody is worth compromising for. Nobody's worth arguing with over dumb shit. Nobody, nobody's worth it. The only thing that is worth it for you is what's worthy for you, what's worthy to you. This is worthy to me. Completing this project is worthy to me. Doing this over here is worthy to me. This is worthy to me. All of these things over here are worthy to me. This right here ain't worthy. If this person got to cool down and go sit down in the corner somewhere and get some water, then maybe that's what they need to go do. That's what they need to go do. And that's what that's not important to you. Okay? And I think I said everything that I needed to say about Beauty Within 40. I blame this on the damn Beauty in Black. Tyler Perry movie was Beauty. It's called Beauty in Black. So I was like, Beauty Within 40. I'm just saying. I just felt like doing that title. And I was, watching a review by Fish Jelly. Man, that shit had me in tears. Man, Tyler Perry writing is so ridiculous. But you just can't help but to I just wanted to know the background story of the elders. Like what happened, you know what I'm saying? Like this chemical that I swear Tyler Perry is still in people's life stories and shit. This chemical that was inside of the perm was causing cancer. And the person was like, they were a chemist all their life. They have no idea how that could have happened. And then they was like, my karma is I have prostate cancer. And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. But anyway, I'm divesting. Diverging, or what's the fucking word? Digressing, right? Is that the word? So, anything else that I want to make clear to you? I don't give a damn what nobody say, and I'm going to stand on what I say. These choices that you make in your 30s right now are pivotal of what your 40s is going to be like. My 40s has been hit with somebody fucking attacking me in a way that is so fucking undeserving. And I said to myself, why is this happening to me? And I begin to realize why it's happening to me. And I won't say it here, but I felt it today when I woke up. And I said, this is why this is happening to me. And it came from a psychological therapeutic place. And I said, you know what? Because I know the why in my life, and because I know really why this keeps happening to me, because it goes back to what someone said to me when they were in their late 30s. Now I have to take the steps in my life to read the books, to do my own therapy, or maybe go to Better Health and do the therapy and express these things to the therapist or whatever, or just like I said, do my own therapy, or shit, go to Chat GTP to be my damn therapist, so that I could take the steps to heal this part of my life and move forward, so this will not, because it's going to happen, but so it doesn't keep happening and keep happening and keep happening. So that's another thing that is key. You will, between 30 to 40, you will begin to do the proper help that you need to have for your life, because you're going to see what people's lives is like who do not go out there and get the therapy or go get the help or find or pick up the books to do the therapy for themselves. You're going to see what their lives turn out to be like. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work for yourself, especially when you're accomplishing or looking to accomplish things. Just like the woman who at 40, past 40, she said she got her a dating coach, and what she learned about dating from her dating coach. You know what I'm saying? Especially dating in fucking LA. And I've heard stories about dating in LA. You have more of a chance of finding love in New York City than you do in LA. Because no thank you. It just don't sound like it's a good thing. I mean, yeah. Yeah. That's all I gotta say is yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm done. I done talked for almost, I wasn't supposed to even talk this long, but that's because I kept going with y'all because I had a little music break real quick because I had to do something. But I'm out of here, y'all. I'm out of here. It's been fun.